Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is another movie review. Today we're tackling Nickelodeon's Playing with Fire. Now, a few things before we get into this review, like I always normally do, I have a few disclaimers. One, this is, yes, it is a Nickelodeon movie. Nickelodeon movies technically don't have the best rep. However, they kind of do if you really think about it. If you actually go into the nitty-gritty, they have the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water, both great films. Rango, great film. The Adventures of Tintin, one of my favorite movies of all time, is Nickelodeon. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live-action movies, which I have not seen, and of course some other things as well, including Playing with Fire. Now, another thing, I say this a few times, a lot of movies have really, really bad trailers. I mean, so poorly done, you just want to puke. And that was this. It looked okay, but there were a lot of things that were tonally off, that you would expect them to be, correct in, and a few weird edits, and it was just a very poorly done trailer in my opinion. So I was a little nervous, like, I had to look what the movie was getting because I had to get a thumbnail for this video, and I believe it's only at a 20 or 25%. And I'm just going to tell you that that is not, in my opinion, worth giving. I think I really did enjoy Playing with Fire. It has a few misfires, but at the same time, it really does help to, kind of give the sense of not only family, but also comedy in the same time. So, I'll start off the bat with the general plot. You have these badass firefighter guys, right? They're just the coolest guys in the world. They're literally like superheroes. They're portrayed as superheroes. They're saving the day, and they're jumping out of things, and they're all cool. And that kind of is what I don't know the word. They're not firefighters. They're like stunt jumpers or something. Fire jumpers, something jumper. They basically jump out of airplanes and they go into the fire to, rescue people. It's kind of like Spec Ops, where you go down and, in Modern Warfare, and you get them and you rescue them, all that kind of thing. So it kind of is like that, and they're portrayed as these, hero guys. And then, of course, these little girl and little brother, and, of course, the girl played by Brianna Hildebrand from Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. Although this time she doesn't look like Negasonic on a Teenage Warhead, she looks like a normal girl. And I remember seeing the poster, and I was like, wow, that girl's cute. And my buddy's like, she's like 4. And I'm like, no, she's over 18. It's Brianna Hildebrand. And I didn't recognize her because I'm like, oh, you don't have that hair. So it's funny what hair and makeup can do to an actor. You can really transform. Kind of like Johnny Depp and all these other roles. You get one guy who looks like this, and then you get another person or a girl, whoever, and they look completely different. So it was really funny, and I was like, yep, that's her. It was funny. So that was really the only person. And, of course, John Cena plays Jake, the main protagonist. So that's really the plot. It's firefighters who are awesome get stuck with babysitting duty, but that's what the trailer wants to tell you. The actual movie goes a little bit deeper than that, and it goes into a family drama and a lot of comedy and a lot of things. Without spoiling it, there's a lot of things that happen where the best thing I can relate this movie to is sort of like they took half of the Daddy's Home movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2, great films by the way, and they kind of meshed it with a little bit of Instant Family with the girl who plays Dora from the new live-action Dora movie, and Mark Wahlberg's in that one too, and I think Rose Byrne, the girl from X-Men. And it's kind of like you took that and you mushed them together, and that is exactly what this movie is. But it's PG, but it's not for little kids, trust me. It's not just a kids movie. It's for all ages. And in fact, I remember seeing the trailer, and we were like, oh, this is a grandma movie. My grandma would love this. And it was funny because it was me and 2 grandmas in the theater. I'm not joking. It was kind of funny. But other than that, like I said, it goes deeper without spoiling things. There's a lot of family issues in this movie. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's a really climactic scene at the end, which I didn't expect because when you watch the trailer, you're like, oh, it's just a stupid little comedy about kids. And, I read an article that was called Beefcakes Taking Care of Little Kids. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I know I'm a dude. I don't refer to men as beefcake, but that term is kind of strange. Taking care of kids. It's like, yeah, that's technically what the guys do. They're all buff and they take care of kids. But at the same time, it's like, there's more to it. You know what I mean? You can't just go in saying, oh, it looks like that. I guess that's what it is. You got to watch it. And again, if you don't like it, that's fine. But in my opinion, like I said, it goes a lot deeper than that. And yes, there are some really funny moments in this movie. I remember laughing out loud a lot in this film. And for a PG film that isn't a Lego movie, I don't laugh a whole lot at movies that are PG. I do laugh. I'm not just like Stonewall Jackson over here just. But at the same time, it really is funny because you get this sort of comedy that isn't PG-13, not R, and it's not G. It's slightly slightly risky, but at the same time, it's fun. It's family fun at its best, I would say. And there are some poop and fart jokes. If you really don't like poop and fart jokes, here's my issue with that, really quickly. I think that poop and fart jokes can be extremely mishandled if done incorrectly. Very kiddie. Say what you want about Shrek, but I do think that the Shrek movies have a lot of those in there, and that is what kind of makes it more for kids. More than, say, Rise of the Guardians or How to Train Your Dragon or even some of the Kung Fu Panda films, which are more geared toward all age groups. I do think Shrek is more for kids. And I know the meme, don't get, all that stuff. Olga Layers, whatever. It kind of is popular because of the meme. But at the same time, there's a lot of fart jokes in Shrek, and it doesn't work for me. I really don't laugh. It's like, yeah, I get it. He's an ogre. Haha, fart. I get it. Funny, But this movie is done correctly handled, and I do think that when it, like I said, it is correctly done, it really makes for some genuine humor that I think everyone can enjoy. And the grandmas were having a good time, that's for sure, and I certainly was as well. Of course, it wasn't just poop and fart jokes. There was only really one scene about that, and it was really funny. In fact, it was probably the funniest scene in the movie, to tell you the truth. There's a few Easter eggs. There's a Star Wars Easter egg, which I thought was pretty funny. Of course, there's a really good contrast in there. Now, let me get to the negative, because this contrast deals with this negative. Essentially, the beginning of the movie is the worst part of the movie for me. I normally don't tend to think that movies start bad and end good, or start good and end bad. I do think it's kind of like a complete or whole thing. But this movie's a little different because this movie opens very, very poorly. There's green screen galore, extremely poor acting from a few of the civilian characters, and I get it. It's supposed to be a comedy. It's not really the most serious thing in the world, because they're dealing with a forest fire and people in peril, which is serious. And then you get John Cena coming in, looking all, all the guys are all badass, and, they're all walking, they think they're all cool, slow motion, they're playing this hard rock stuff, and all of a sudden, there's a green screen, he catches a branch, and the guy's like, oh, we need a miracle, and the editing's really weird too. There's a lot of very incomplete shots and very strange things in this opening, and I'd say the opening would probably be the first 20 minutes or so. It is slow, you do have to get introduced to the characters. However, once you do get introduced to the characters, you really do care about this kind of dysfunctional / functional family of these firefighters or stunt jumpers, whatever you want to call them. The beginning, I didn't care. I didn't give two craps. I was like, you know what? I don't care about these guys. Who the fudge are these guys? I don't care, whatever. None of it was really clicking for me. It wasn't that funny. It was kind of boring. And then, not to say it was the worst beginning of a movie ever, but compared to the rest of the movie, it was tonally off. The tone of it was off. And then you get to the middle and the end, the second and third pillar of this film, the acts, and it really does pull itself together in ways that you wouldn't expect just from watching the trailer. It was really funny, had a lot of genuinely laugh out loud moments. Of course, every movie technically has to have a plot, or a sad scene is what I usually call it. It is a twist, and I really did enjoy it. And of course, the ending is pretty suspenseful in one scene as well. It all ties together nicely, and it really plays a big jab at this family dynamic that you kind of have going on here. And you don't get that from the trailer. All you get from the trailer is, funny hijinks and random crap that happens. So you frickin' do. That's it. But when you watch this movie, it really is funny. And I had a great time with it, Like I said, the beginning was a little weird. There was a lot of green screens. And, the acting was really strange. You don't care about the characters. And all of a sudden, once the little kids come in, and Brianna Hildebrandt's character, you care. And it's not just because there's little kids and, it's funny, look. The grandmas are laughing. It's not like that. It really, I'm not trying to sound weird here, but once the kids come into the scene, the movie picks up pace, and you start to care more because then they care for the other characters. And once characters care for each other, you care for the characters, if you know what I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, I really did enjoy Playing with Fire. I know it's getting terrible reviews, probably making no money at all. And, it's a Nickelodeon movie. Of course, I think Dora and the Lost City of Gold, or whatever it was called, was the last Nickelodeon film. And I love Dora. I know Dora isn't for all ages, it's for 2 to 3 year olds, but at the same time, the movie is for all ages, and I really like Dora. If you go check out my review for it, it is on the channel, and I really happen to like it, not because Dora's hot, but because the movie itself was on fire. That was weird. But at the end of the day, I get it, fire, because Playing with Fire is funny. I really did enjoy Playing with Fire. Wow. I don't enjoy Playing with Fire. I enjoyed watching the movie Playing with Fire, and like I said, the only really negative is a few CGI mishaps. Other than that, the beginning is really strange, but once it picks up, and you really do care, you're laughing, and, you feel some tugs on the heartstrings in the end. So, again, I think I'm going to give Playing with Fire a B+. I really did enjoy it. It started out, I was actually watching in the theater, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to give it a C. And then at the end of the movie, I said, no, it picked up. It became really great. I'm going to give it a B. So yeah, that's what a B+. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to be getting it on Blu-ray and unboxing it, and I can give one of you guys a code whenever that comes out on Blu-ray next year. Again, if you have not seen this movie, I wouldn't say trust the reviewers. Don't even trust me. Just, listen to me. I hate when people trust other people and just, oh, he liked it, so I like it. Don't do that. Watch it for yourself. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people hate it and think it's really dumb and cheesy. It is a family film, so it can get a little corny, but I think that's kind of the aspect. It's supposed to be that way. There are a few scenes, like I said in the beginning, that are really strange, but other than that, everything works toward the middle and the end, and it really is a fun family film with a lot of good laugh-out-loud comedy. So, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you can, please tell me in the comments if you did see the movie Playing with Fire without any spoilers. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.